The Mandaean Religion. The Mandaean religion, from Manda, knowledge, is a self-contained, distinct system that belongs to late antiquity's Gnosticism. The religion shares similarities with both Judaism and Christianity. The Mandaeans live along the rivers and streams of southern Iraq and Khuzestan, Iran, as their forefathers did. Their neighbors refer to them as Subi, which means baptizers, and form a Gnostic Baptist society. History of the religion Mandaeans can be traced back to the 2nd or 3rd century AD. According to their language and literature, they moved eastward from the Jordan Valley region to the environs of Haran, on the frontier between modern-day Turkey and Syria, and then to southern Babylonia during the first centuries of the Common Period. Mandaean Religion, Encyclopedia.com, 2021. It is somewhat arduous to talk about the Mandaeans' origins and history since it is seldom mentioned in their literature. They claim that since the world of light created their faith, they are unconcerned about world history. To date, Haran Gawaita is the only Mandaean text available, which refers to the Great Revelations Diwan. In this text, the Nazareans are described. They stayed in the Median Hills, where they fled the rulers under the leadership of King Ardban. The Parthian king Artaban III, IV, or V, has been linked to King Ardban. This seems to indicate the existence of an ancient tradition describing how it infiltrated Iranian territory at the time, i.e., during the reign of the later Parthian kings in the 1st and 2nd centuries AD. Haran Gawaita further describes the establishment of a Mandaean community in Mesopotamia and its subsequent history under Sasanian rulers. The adherents of this religion exclusively revere familiar iconic figures in the Christian religion, such as Adam, Noah, and John the Baptist. Mandaean Society in America, 2013. The Mandaeans, who had previously been hostile to both Judaism and Christianity, faced the Islamic invasion in the 7th century. Since a holy book and a prophet were the Islamic criteria for recognition, the Mandaean leaders declared the Ginza to be their holy scripture and proclaimed John the Baptist as the Mandaean prophet. Under Islamic law, the Mandaeans faced difficulties, but they were subsequently left alone. There have been questions concerning Mandaeism if it's Islam. Simply put, many Mandaeans converted to colloquial Iraqi Arabic and modern Persian. They were native speakers of Mandaic, a Semitic language that evolved from Eastern Middle Aramaic. Mandaic is primarily used for liturgical purposes. Gatehouse Media, 2021. The monk Ricardo da Montecros, according to history, was the first Westerner to encounter the Mandaeans in 1290. The experience is described in some travel diary, the Book of Travels in Eastern Parts, which he wrote in the quiet of Santa Maria Novella's convent in Florence in his later years. The Mandaeans are not discussed again until 1555, when they are mistaken for Christians of Saint John the Apostle and Evangelist by Jesuit missionaries in Mesopotamia. The accounts of travelers such as the Roman aristocrat Pietro della Valle and missionaries like Basilio di San Francesco, a Portuguese Carmelite who dedicated himself to the conversion of the Mandaeans with great zeal, establishing the Catholic mission at Basra, among others, extended European knowledge of Mandaeanism at the beginning of the 17th century. Another Carmelite further enhanced Basilio's work, Ignatius of Gesu, responsible for a kind of Mandaean conversion handbook known as Narratio Originum, Rituum, et Erum Christianorum Sancti Ioannis. The religion has a deep history, but it was thought to be somewhat extinct. Kraeling, 1929. Mythology. Mandaeism exemplifies a fundamental framework of dualism whereby opposed ideas coexist. Good and bad, light and darkness, have fought for dominance since the beginning of time. Mandaean mythological assertions focus on the pre-existing light world, the heavenly realm, the earth and human beings' existence, and the soul's return to its light world roots. The predominant light world entity is referred to as the Great Life, and is also known by other names. This entity exists with the treasure of life and light beings referred to as Utria. Atria are, according to the Mandaeans, earthly priests' prototypes. The Matarata, also known as heavenly hells or purgatories, is a series of tests and tribulations for rising souls and spirits between earth and the light world. As depicted in the Scroll of Abatar, the metadata is an inverted counterpart to the underworlds mapped by Hybel before the Earth's formation. Purgatory keepers are demons, including some degraded Utria, who perform the unrewarding duty of checking and punishing those entering. Atria and other divine entities will manifest as either good or evil depending on the realm in which they appear. The metadata does not spare non-believers. The Mandaean religion's mythology talks of Jesus and his mother, Mirai, who converted from Judaism to Mandaeism. The Mandaean religion depicts him as an apostate Mandaean and is doomed. In John chapter 30 of the Holy Book, Jesus asks John the Baptist to baptize him, but John the Baptist is hesitant at first because he is aware of Jesus' wicked intentions. According to an order from Abatar, John relents, but at the time of baptism, Ruha makes the sign of the cross, which suddenly loses its luster and turns a variety of colors, a terrible omen. Mandaean Religion, Encyclopedia.com, 2021. Rituals of the religion. Priests and laypersons make up the Mandaean community. Priests are divided into three categories: ordinary priests Talmide, bishops or treasurers Ganzabri, and the head, referred to as Rishama. Rishama Abdullah Negim of Baghdad is the only one who currently holds such a position. For a time, it seemed that the number of priests was dwindling to a half dozen or fewer. However, several young trained Mandaeans have joined the priesthood in recent years. Since the priest represents celestial messengers and angels, he is often equated with them in the rituals. On Sundays and special festival days, the Mandaeans perform repeated baptisms known as Mazbuta. Individual Mandaeans perform two small ablution rituals called Rishama and Tamasha, which, unlike the Mazbuta, do not necessitate a priest's use. Baptism entails three major steps: a threefold full immersion, performed in the white sacral robe, which they refer to as resta, a threefold signing of the forehead using water, a threefold draught of water, and finally, the crowning of the head using a myrtle wreath. Baptism can only occur in living waters and can only take place in rivers, which bear the name Yadana, which refers to Jordan. These Jordans are said to be fed by the celestial world of light. The main objective of baptism is for the Mandaean to enter into close communion with the world of light by immersion in the Jordan and cleanse all transgressions. After baptism, each candidate is anointed with sesame oil on the forehead and is given a meal of bread known as pitta and water mambuha. The baptized individual then performs a handshake, kushta, with the priest. The Mandaeans probably revere the word Jordan due to their acquaintance with John the Baptist, who performed baptism in River Jordan. They disassociate themselves with Jesus, who is believed to be a false messiah. Mandaeanism, 2018. Mandaeans also believe in a world of darkness, as they believe in a world of light or Nura. The world of darkness is somewhat similar to the world of light, only that it traces its origin from the dark waters. Evil and deception abound in the world of darkness. Light and darkness, life and death, good and evil, have always had a symbiotic relationship. The earthly world, Tibble, was formed as a result of these connections. Earth was formed by the combined acts of darkness and light. Essentially, it was an evil act aided by the world of light's intervention to shift the balance in its favor. Various versions of how this happened can be found in Mandaean literature. The first man Adam, whose body Adam Pagria was created by evil beings, the wicked spirit Ruha, and the planets, is the pinnacle of creation according to the Mandaean religion. They also create in him an inner hidden Adam Kasya, which is described as the inner soul. He is also given the secrets of the world. It is quite intriguing that there is such a huge disparity between Adam and Jesus in relation to Christianity. Both Mandaeism and Christianity mention them in the holy books but served entirely different functions. In conclusion, the Mandaeans do not accept any rigid theological demands or, for that matter, free thought, unlike other Gnostic sects. Monogamy and rearing children are explicitly required, as is the giving of alms zidka. All their literature is contained in Ginza, which is divided into the right and left sections. Their moral code is described in the book, which includes that Mandaeans are to love the neighbors. Just like any other religion, the Mandaean religion should be accorded respect and its existence preserved. All that matters is one's faith when it comes to religion. Right or wrong religion is not applicable. The MANDAEANS, Their History, Religion, and Mythology, Mandaean Associations Union. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Life is Often if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.